Won 7 of 10 and 59 and 45 record. It's Pete Crow Armstrong, who's just been on an absolute tear. Seiya Suzuki, be followed by Michael Busch, and Ian Happ moves up to the cleanup spot because Alex Bregman gets the day off. Nico Hoerner, Michael Conforto makes his first start of the series. Carson Kelly returns behind the dish. Pedro Ramirez moves to third base. He's got a 6-game hitting streak, the rookie, and Dansby Swanson bats ninth against Braxton Ashcraft.
And there's his car shield numbers. 21st start for him. We talked about last 2 starts haven't been Braxton Ashcraft-esque, but hopefully today's a get-right game for him back here at home. 116 in the 3rd innings, 130 strikeouts. And we're going to keep an eye on that slider early on, see if he's got the sharpness to that, as Stephen Brault mentioned.
Within Furniture Mattress defense, it is Brandon Lau, Ryan O'Hearn on the right side. The Gonzalez boys on the left side. Callahan, Mangum, Valdez, the outfield left to right. Sean Ross makes his first major league start. Got his first big league at bat late in the game last night. So this will be a big item to watch. Ross up from the minor leagues with the backup catcher Rafael Flores, who was called up because the injury to Endy Rodriguez. Flores goes on the IL, the concussion injured list. And so Ross making his first big league start behind the dish. And Pete Crow Armstrong takes ball 1. He's been all over the place, not just in this series, but much of this season. 4 for 5 last night. Couple of doubles, home run. He's homered in each game of the series. He's now 6th in the National League with 23 home runs. He's 3rd with a .934 OPS.
A good stat of the day. Ashcraft likes throwing on day games. He's 2-0 with a 1.37 ERA in 19 2/3 innings in Sunday day games this season.
Falls behind 3-1. Soft serve to the shortstop Jacob Gonzalez behind second. And Stephen, we'll start with you about your keys to the game presented by your Western PA Buick dealers.
I'm going Bashcraft. I'd like to do the keys that have 2 meanings in one. Bashcraft, I'd love to see him attacking the zone with that slider that he's got that the last few starts has been a little bit over the middle of the plate. And then secondly there, we got to get those bats moving. No extra base hits in the first 2 games against this Cubs team. Got to get that moving.
And for me, it's right the ship. Obviously scored no runs yesterday, 1 run in game 1 of this series. Let's get those bats going today.
We'll keep our eyes on the keys to the game from both Walker and Brault. 0-2 the count. Jameson Taillon going to return. Make the start against his former club. Seiya Suzuki is the designated hitter. That was 98 from Ashcraft. Been a bit of a struggle, and Stephen just alluded to it. His ERA his last 4 starts, 8.24. He did pick up a win 3 starts back in DC, just 2 starts before the All-Star break. Pop up. Jacob Gonzalez again. He's handled both. A little soft liner and a high pop up. He brings up Michael Busch. For Ashcraft, he is 1-1 in 4 career starts versus the Chicago Cubs. He also made a relief appearance last year. 2.42 ERA versus Chicago. Just 4 walks in 23 innings. 2-0 on Michael Busch. And that did catch the edge. They called a ball. Well, tell us about your feelings regarding a catcher making his debut for you. Stephen, first you, and then the former catcher Neil Walker can talk about it.
Well, you know, my major league debut was with a catcher who was making his first start with the Pirates in Eric Fryer in St. Louis, and just that kind of you have to learn together, just like we talked about last night. And what Sean Ross is going to do here is he's going to work with Ashcraft and probably go with more what he wants to throw more often than not. But the main thing will be here, learning the movement of the pitches.
Now, does it help that Ross, we did see him as a non-roster invitee in spring training, so he did catch some of these guys. Would that be helpful?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you have to get some kind of a read. Things change throughout the season, but what doesn't change is that Braxton throws really hard, and he has that really good break on the curveball.
Well, we'll keep an eye on, if Ashcraft is shaking quite a bit. Obviously they're trying to feel each other out here. They've had conversations beforehand. Where do you like me to set your target? Where, all of those things go into play.
Michael Busch draws the walk. 3 hits last night, and it brings up Ian Happ, another story. Every time he comes to Pittsburgh, he's a story, and he's done it again in this series. Though he was 0 for 3 last night, he got to the plate in the 7th inning after he had struck out twice and grounded out against Paul Skeens, but he was facing Ron Marinaccio making his Pirates debut, and he walked to extend his amazing on-base streak here at PNC Park to 43 consecutive games. One for 7 in the series. It's interesting too, in the 65 games that he has started over the years here, in his 65 starts as a Cub at PNC Park, he's not reached base once. That was August 19th, 2018, and the only guy to keep him off the bases was Jameson Taillon, who struck him out 3 times in 6 innings. 1-2, the slider from Ashcraft.
Yeah, they've been able to keep Ian Happ at bay in this series, as you kind of alluded to, Greg. That one swinging bunt single and a couple walks in the first 2 games of this series. It's kind of been more of the guys at the bottom of the order, particularly yesterday's game. At one point, in 6 at-bats between the 8th and 9th hole hitters, they were 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs, a double, 2 singles, a walk, and a hit by pitch. So that's kind of how this Chicago Cubs lineup is constructed. But a nice clean inning right there for Ashcraft, minus the walk. Let's see if the Pirates can get the bats going right off the jump.
Reynolds will H.S. Merlin Valdez in right. Ryan O'Hearn at first base. Nick Gonzalez has a 9-game hitting streak. Jacob Gonzalez starts at shortstop. Sean Ross and Tyler Callahan against Jameson Taillon.
Jameson Taillon, his 15th start, 2-5 with a 5.38 ERA. Doesn't strike out a ton, but also doesn't walk many. Really mixes it around. Throws 6 pitches, 4-seam cutter, sweeper, changeup, curveball, and 2-seam. So look for him to move the ball around the zone, change speed, see if he can get guys off balance today.
Sig Mangum, 3 for 9 in the series, went 1 for 4 last night. An average at 304. One ball, 2 strikes. Two and 2. Taillon joined the Cubs prior to the 2023 season. Injuries have just plagued him so often over the years. Three and 2 the count. Bucks have done a good job against Taillon. His 2 starts this year versus Pittsburgh. Drafted in the first round in 2010. 2nd pick overall. The Nationals drafted Bryce Harper. The Pirates selected Jameson Taillon. The Orioles were next. They selected Manny Machado. Mangum caught looking. And the defense behind Tyone. It's Nico Horner and Dansby Swanson up the middle with Pete Crow Armstrong, Gold Glover in center field. We talked about the Gold Gloves, including Ian Happ in left. Michael Conforto was in right. Pedro Ramirez gets his first start at third base this series. Michael Busch at first. Carson Kelly catches Tyone. And the man we talked about in our open right now, Brandon Lau. Day off last night. .294 career versus Tyone. And has homered 3 times and 5 at-bats this season in 2 games, and a 1-out single for Lau. And our Penn West University stat of the day, Tyone is susceptible to the long ball. In fact, no pitcher in terms of giving up homers per 9 has given up more. Jeffrey Springs, Zach Littell, Eric Lauer, Aaron Nola.
And 22 home runs given up this season by Tyone. And you'd love to see the Pirates get back on track. Said it's been 3 games since they found the seats.
Reynolds a .320 career hitter versus Tyone, and he is mired in a slump. Reynolds is 0 for his last 19. Including 0 for 8 in this series. (2-0). It's hard to believe. All those years ago, Tyone drafted in the first round. The injuries that took place, including Tommy John, 2 Tommy John surgeries for Tyone. Change up over 2-1. Tyone now 34 years old. Signed a 4-year deal in December of 2022 to join the Cubs. Lau doesn't often take off. Tyone involved in a trade that didn't really work out for the Pirates in 2021. January of 2021, they traded him to the Yankees for Rowansi Contreras, who they thought they got a gem in that pitcher. Michael Escoto, Kanan Smith and Jigba, and Miguel Uria. And there's a drive to right, to the wall. And the catch made by Conforto, and Brandon Lau is all the way to third base. Double play. Talked about the Pirates needing to red up to the wall in right by Reynolds.
Yeah, off the bat, it looked like it had a really good chance of getting off that wall, and Conforto able to snag it. And I think right at that last second, Lau thought this ball did get past him and just committed to taking off.
A weak bounding ball right back to Ashcraft. Horner's retired.
When as a runner on first base, when a ball is hit, especially toward right field, you got to kind of just slow up. And yes, you do want to score on this if you can, if it gets over the right fielder's head or an outfielder's head. But obviously, you have to make sure that you see it hit the ground or hit the wall.
So that little reaction that Conforto had,
I think
that's what he thought. He thought the ball had come out there at the wall. What did it look like from ground level, Stephen?
Well, that was one of those plays that, from my angle, I understand why Lau thought that hit the wall, because it's kind of hard to tell. And once you get around second base there, once Lau takes off, once you cross second, that ball, it's going to be almost impossible to get back to first. So once you get to that point, you might as well continue going just in case. But I was just talking to Tony Beasley about it. He said that's one of those situations where, from the angle, Lau thought right there that that ball hit the wall. You just couldn't tell, and unfortunately just didn't get the right read.
And if he was right, he probably scores, right? But if he does hold up to make sure that it did drop, he ends up on third, which is obviously a positive outcome as well.
A challenge here.
This is called a ball pitcher's challenge.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Sean Ross, his first Major League challenge. Of course, they have this in the minor leagues.
Ball is confirmed. Pittsburgh has 1 challenge remaining.
He's 0 for 1 in that department.
As soon as he looks up, he's fair
Another
game.
look.
It's on him. As soon as he looks up, then he's got to be ready, Dan.
So what Counsell would be complaining about?
I think he's talking about Ashcraft starting his windup too early.
I believe what the umpire was saying was that as soon as the hitter looks towards the pitcher, that means he has to be ready, because Ashcraft is allowed to go as soon as he looks up to Ashcraft.
Isn't that interesting? We just were in Cleveland, New York rather, the hullabaloo surrounding Jose Caballero.
Well, yeah, that's been debated and talked about quite a bit, and I do think that it's kind of hard just to be super fluid with the rules, right? But there is a little bit of wiggle room. The Caballero one, he's really the only one that you ever see.
And that was that game. They tried that with Ashcraft, and there was some back and forth, and then the benches emptied in the 8th inning when Dennis Santana, since DFA'd by the Pirates, got into it with Caballero at the end of the 8th inning on Monday night. And now 2-1. The walk to Conforto. Carson Kelly takes 2 balls and 1 strike. But we've seen teams try to disrupt Ashcraft because he likes to work so quickly. Phillies did that a few weeks ago.
Well, find me a baseball player who isn't looking to skirt by the rules, technically legal, and give themselves an advantage. We've been seeing that forever. Calling timeout right before a pitcher's about to start. I mean, that's part of what hitting is getting in the pitcher's head.
And the pitcher trying to disrupt the hitter's timing. That back and forth. That was Aaron Boone's complaint after the game. He said, you know, that's what Caballero does. He said it's part of his program to concentrate and get locked in, but Caballero and others have said, why should the pitcher have the full advantage? Why shouldn't the batter be able to do something? 2-2. Kelly 0 for 3 on Friday. Miguel Amaya caught yesterday. Strike 3.
And he just sneaks this one in here. 96. Looked like Carson Kelly was looking for that slider. It just locked him up.
Yeah, when we talk about finding success with the slider, it's not just the actual results of the pitch, but when you command the slider low and away, that's when you start to get away with those sinkers in the back door to lefties, because they're seeing slider out of the hand. It just comes back across the corner. And if you're not getting that slider where you want it to be, that's not going to be nearly as effective.
Falls behind the rookie Ramirez 2-0.
On another situation right here with Dansby Swanson on deck. Usually 9-hole hitters in lineups don't get talked about a whole lot, but with Dansby Swanson, he has tortured the Pirates in this series, but also over the course of his career. Nice bounce back after a 2-0 start to this count.
Two and two. Center field and gets down. Pedro Ramirez has a 7-game hitting streak. He reached base each of his last 3 times to the plate last night. Walk, single, double. And he starts out his day in the 2nd inning with a base hit. And now Swanson. Base hit to left. The Cubs going to bring home the runner toward the plate, and he is safe. The throw from Callahan as Conforto chugs home. Going to second on the play goes Swanson. 1-0 Chicago.
And Dansby Swanson does it again. This time a first pitch slider that it looks like he's sitting on. Doesn't hit it real hard, but shoots it through that 6-hole. And typically when balls go in that outfield with as deep as left fielders play, it's difficult for them to throw anybody out at home.
Tyler Callahan.
Yeah, not a bad throw by Tyler. A terrific slide by Conforto. Wow.
And Pete Crow Armstrong now. Second and third. 1-0 Cubs. They take the lead again. They broke through in the 5th inning last night. Pirates took the first lead on Friday in the 5th inning. Cubs tied it in the 6th. They won it in 10. Started with the 1-out walk to Conforto. And after Ashcraft struck out Carson Kelly, Pedro Ramirez soft single to center, and Swanson drives in his 61st run of the year. Conforto in from second, and on the play Swanson moves to second. We're going to talk to the Pirates' first round pick who was officially signed today. Derek Curiel is going to be in the booth with us next. 1-0 Cubs. Derek Curiel, Pirates' first round pick in this year's draft, signed. And there's the ceremony, and he is with us here in the booth. And what a whirlwind it's been for you. I mean, you've been in Pittsburgh like 5 days, is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Didn't you say in the press conference how much you've enjoyed your 5 days here? You've done everything. The Clemente Museum, you visited that?
Absolutely. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
How about this view up here, by the way?
This is more beautiful. It's crazy. Yeah.
Can you believe it up here, Derek?
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
It really is.
Not quite as many bridges and views like this in Orange County or Louisiana, right?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's one bridge in Baton Rouge, and it's definitely not as nice as that.
One bridge in Baton Rouge. And there's the city of bridges, Pittsburgh. And we get a chance to see three of them. There's a drive to left field. It's the magician again. It's magic. Esmerlin Valdez ties it 1-1. His 14th.
Well, Derek, you might have to stay here the rest of the game, just so you know. That's
there you
first
go.
home run by the Pirates in 3 games. And who else but the magician, Valdez, gets into one right here. And it's a 1-1 game.
That home run brought to you by UPMC. Puts on the welder's hood for the 14th time.
Gets a little lazy slider right in the middle of the plate, and he does not miss it.
He homered at Yankee Stadium last week, and he homers here. His magical rookie season continues. 14 home runs, 35 RBIs. He's playing in his 37th major league game. He's 22 years old. Esmerlin Valdez. Remarkable. Tie game at 1.
Well, Derek, you and I talked a little bit about, obviously, your left-handed thrower, left-handed hitter. We talked about the one place you don't want to hit the ball in this ballpark, left center field. You talked about this Clemente wall in right field and how you want to make sure you take advantage of that. Give the fans and the viewers an idea of what to expect with your skill set.
Yeah, I'm going to be driving balls foul pole to foul pole. I like to use the whole field. I like to hit the ball where it's pitched. So hopefully I hit a couple of triples in the final corner.
Yeah, keep it low.
A little look at Derek Curiel.
And what, if anything, did you learn from your time at LSU? And obviously, you come from Orange Lutheran, which I was just texting with Garrett Cole. He sends his best. nice list of major league and professional players come from Orange Lutheran. I'm sure you got great coaching there and kind of accelerated your process into getting into major Division I baseball. Is there anything you learned playing at such a high level really from a young age?
Absolutely. Iron sharpens iron, as the city knows. So I've been doing that since high school, and I think my career definitely changed at LSU. I give a lot of credit to Coach Johnson, the way he coached us, and we're able to win a national championship. Be around guys like Kate Anderson, super cool.
That's awesome.
Tells you how much Coach Johnson thinks of Derek, because he was here. He had not really visited Pittsburgh before. This is one of the bright coaches in college baseball the last decade plus at LSU with the Tigers, and what a tradition. I think Ben Charrington kind of kidded with Coach Johnson at your press conference that, we're going to continue the pipeline with the LSU Tigers.
Absolutely.
Of course, Paul Skeens. As Nick Gonzalez hits one the other way. So Derek, when you come up here and you see this, so it's been 5 days, but you're for first look here, can you not, you must be thinking about it, not maybe necessarily the time that you're going to arrive here, but you must be dreaming about what it is going to be like when you're on that field and playing for the Pirates.
Absolutely. I've been envisioning it. Why else would I be here, you got to envision yourself on that field and proclaim it. I know it's a mountain you got to climb up, so I'm ready to take that full face.
Here's Jacob Gonzalez.
And what kind of advice? We know you're friends with Connor Griffin and obviously a lot of guys that came from LSU. What kind of advice did they give you getting into the pro game, especially just starting and playing every single day and all of those things combined?
Yeah, just telling me it's the same game. Obviously the players are better, but same game, and you got to come in pro ball with an open mind. You're going to learn a lot from players, learn a lot from coaches, a lot of different opinions. You got to kind of take it all in and make it your own. So I'm excited to do that, excited to learn from a bunch of people.
LSU product there, Paul Skeens, and a commit, Connor Griffin, who was at your press conference today. That was cool.
Absolutely.
You knew Connor?
Yeah, him and I grew up in the summer circuit together, competed against and with each other on the 18U national team. We got to hang out over there, get to know each other, and then we planned on rooming at LSU together.
No kidding.
Yeah, him and I were going to be roommates, but obviously he got drafted.
How about that?
Yeah.
There you are at the Clemente Museum with Dwayne Reeder in the middle there, the curator of the Clemente Museum. And on either side, Connor Griffin and our guest Derek Curiel, Pirates first-round pick. Officially signed today, that press conference this morning.
Nice.
Little roller off the glove of the first baseman Bush, but Horner is there. So Ahern moves to second. Jacob Gonzalez out of Ole Miss, by the way, retired, and it brings up Sean Ross.
Have you learned anything in these 5 days about Pittsburgh or the region that you maybe didn't know about beforehand?
Yeah, it's still a city, obviously. The blue collar. I know people here like to work hard, and obviously, they care about the teams here. I think it's super cool. The Steelers, the Penguins, and the Pirates are all right in the same spot. So
black and gold too.
Black and yellow, I like it.
Well, Derek, you mentioned to me you like hockey too, so he's excited to get an opportunity to watch one of the best teams in the NHL play. So
well, it's really fun to witness. Earlier today, Derek came up to say hi to us and introduce himself, and he and Neil talked. And here, two first-round picks of the Pittsburgh Pirates, kind of swapping some stories about what that's like. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
have them both here.
That's a really cool. I joked. I said it was 22 years separate, so that's aging myself. But you're going to be pleasantly not surprised, but you're going to really enjoy this whole process when you get into pro ball and learning things on a day-to-day basis, and just keep your ears open a lot. You watch other players, you ask a lot of questions, especially to the pitchers and catchers from the offensive side. You learn a lot as you grow, but make no mistake, this is a wonderful place to play baseball and to live, and I hope you get an opportunity to do it for a long time.
Absolutely, yeah. I've been picking Connor's brain. Obviously, he's younger than me, but I look up to him. He's been a good role model, and it's pretty cool. Him and I are close, but he's living the dream right now. So he's helping me out, how it is in the minor league levels, what bats he uses, all these things. It's pretty cool.
Connor Griffin there, currently on the injured list. 2-2 on Sean Ross, who made his major league debut last night. Got his first at bat, then played first base, but he's starting for the first time in his big league career. The native of Santurce, Puerto Rico, the 26-year-old Sean Ross, with a runner at second base. The home run by Esmeralda Valdez ties it up off Jameson Taillon. 3-2 pitch. High fly ball deep to left field. Sean Ross, adios. How about that? His first start in the big leagues, a no-doubter. 438.
I was just about to say, young man, get that first hit and RBI out of the way, and I was thinking maybe just a single to center field. But Sean Ross backs this ball up, and we don't see many people go into that second deck there, Derek, but he just did, and what an exciting opportunity and moment for the young man.
It's not a bad first inning.
438. Incredible moment. That was something else. What'd you think? That's pretty cool.
That's a good first inning up here in the booth.
Yeah. You'll be here for the next 8 innings or so.
There you go.
Thanks a million. Congrats.
Thank
Derek.
you.
Thanks a million. Derek Curiel.
Pittsburgh.
Braxton Ashcraft delivers a strike. That was really something special. Here we got the first round pick in the booth with us, Derek Curiel, signed today, and he watches 2 rookies hit bombs. I mean, to watch his reaction,
Right.
it was wild. Esmeralda Valdez hits his 14th, playing in just his 37th major league game, and Sean Ross, you know, Sean Ross not considered a top prospect. He was a minor league invite to spring training, and he did show some pop in the games that he played down in Bradenton. How impressive.
I mean, that
A
was
combined 838 feet, the two of them.
That was incredibly impressive, and I think the main thing there is not just a good swing by Sean Ross, but a great at bat. It works the count to 3-2, gets a cutter left out over the middle of the plate, and he gets the barrel to it. Like you said, we don't see guys go to that second level in left field very often. That was a absolute no-doubter. Him and Valdez, both those balls just punished.
So impressive. And Sean Ross was pumped up after the strikeout of Suzuki. Raises his fist toward Braxton Ashcraft, who now has struck out 4, and a base hit for Michael Busch. Steven, this home run by Ross, 438 feet.
Yeah, so after working the count, you get to a point where if you're a hitter and you get this pitch that starts just on the inside of the plate, but you're ready to stay over the middle with that off speed, it ends up being perfectly timed up for your barrel. And Sean Ross just showing off some big pop. We've seen him back behind the plate. Only his second major league at bat going yard. That's got to be fun.
Ground ball. There's 1 and there's 2.
Free ice cream.
Pittsburgh, and by Levin Furniture and Mattress, Pittsburgh's #1 furniture and mattress store. How about the reaction of the fan that made the catch on the Valdez homer, and then the bomb by Sean Ross from Santurce, Puerto Rico. And now top of the order, Jake Mangum.
Second time through the order for the Pirates here. Jake Mangum struck out looking in his first at bat on an extended at bat, 8-pitch AB. After a 3-run inning and a shutdown inning in the top of the 3rd, Pirates can get something going. 24 home runs given up this year by Jameson Taillon.
Home run by Valdez, leading off the 2nd inning, tied the game. Talk about Taillon giving up all the home runs. He gives up 2 more already. to the rookies Valdez and Ross. Now 24 home runs allowed in 74 innings.
Yeah, Taillon just coming back after missing a little over a month from a hamstring injury, and since he's come back, his last start he led with the changeup and curveball, and today he's leading with the changeup and cutter.
And there's the changeup. He has struck out Mangum both times.
There's that changeup right there that Steven's talking about. Kind of sits on that edge, and as a hitter, sometimes you think it's going to go more down. But Taillon's kind of has a little more horizontal movement to it, and you can run out of barrel real fast. It starts in a good spot.
What's Taillon thinking here against Lau, who's touched him up for 3 home runs this season in 2 games, and in his first at bat singled to right?
Well, yeah, I guess that's kind of a question for Steven. Steven, have you experienced, you know, guys having a lot of success against you, and where does your brain start to drift to when you get in those type of situations?
You really try not to think, man, I hope I don't give up another homer to this guy. It's really hard not to think that way. My 2 were, that's a good swing.
Yeah, another hit.
My 2 were Matt Kemp. I believe he was 3 for 4 off me with 2 3-run homers, and Chris Bryant, who I don't even know how many hits he got off me, but a lot more times than I got him out, that's for sure.
Base hit for Lau.
Got a hit on a changeup in a very similar spot, and then does it again in his second at bat, and almost the exact same ball he hit in the first inning. Does it again here in the third.
Reynolds thought maybe he had gotten enough at least to get it off the wall, and Lau certainly thought it had been hit deep enough that Conforto didn't make the catch. Unfortunately, Conforto did at the wall, and Lau was easily doubled up. Same exact scenario. First batter of the inning strikes out. Lau singles, and now it's Reynolds. Xfinity batting stats, reliable Wi-Fi at one price. Came in a .320 career hitter against Taillon, but hitless in his last 20 at bats overall. Reynolds. And hits this one well toward right. Conforto back. And this time he does not make the catch. Reynolds into second with a double.
This is kind of remarkable, Greg. It was the exact same situation in the first inning. Lau getting a single to right field, and then Reynolds hitting kind of a topspin ball to right field that you're not 100% sure if Conforto was going to get to this one. This one more in a line, but watch Lau on the bottom of the screen. He's making sure this time, and just what we talked about, that little hold up that you kind of have to do, which is sometimes hard, is necessary, but it at least gets you to third base. It rarely gets you to score, but now you got the infield in, you got second and third, and your 4-hole hitter up.
And the infield is in. Valdez homered, leading off last inning for his 14th. Just one out. Valdez also homered for his first major league hit.
That's a good start right here. Take what you're given. You know, a lot of times in these situations where you haven't scored a lot of runs recently and you've had a couple tough losses, 3 in a row for the Pirates, you want to force the issue. Don't do it. Don't fall into that trap.
Walks him on 4 pitches. They've got Taillon on the ropes. Second walk, he walked O'Hearn following the Valdez homer. Now O'Hearn to the plate with the bases juiced and 1 out.
Tommy Hotovy's going to come out and have a conversation with Taillon. If you're the Pirates, this is the guy you want up in this situation. You don't feel like Ryan O'Hearn usually tries to force the issue and go out of the zone. He does a pretty good job with situational baseball. Maybe you're looking for an off-speed pitch right here early in the count, whether it be the changeup or the curveball. Typically, as an opposing pitcher, you want to throw something down in the zone with spin down. So maybe he goes with a slider or curveball to start him off, see if he can get him chasing down for a potential ground ball double play. But O'Hearn knows that as well.
Bases loaded. Lau, Reynolds at second, and Valdez walks. O'Hearn has hit a grand slam this season. He's 3 for 7 as a Pirate in these situations. Bases loaded. Of course, the Cubs looking for the ground ball as O'Hearn looks to get this out of the infield. O'Hearn, a .368 career hitter with the bases loaded. 3 grand slams. Fly ball to center field, deep. PCA back, wall, granny time! O'Hearn, oh baby!
Just what the doctor ordered, Greg. I mentioned trying to right the ship today for the offense, get back on track. We've seen so many lefties lately, and they've kind of stalwarted this Pirates offense, but not today through 2+ innings. That's 3 home runs of the day and 7 runs driven in.
So again, his second as a Pirate, and those numbers for O'Hearn, phenomenal in his career. With the bases loaded, 4 grannies, 7-1 Pittsburgh. O'Hearn now with 68 RBIs on the year, and another look.
Hey, Greg, isn't it O'Hearn's birthday today as well?
Heck of a birthday present.
It is his birthday. How about that?
It's the first time he's hit a grand slam in his career on his birthday. And a ground ball, third for the second out. Yeah, that's quite a birthday present. Ryan O'Hearn. Well, you know, he went through kind of a little bit of a slump. And the last few games coming out of that, he was 1 for 3, but 2 lineouts last night. A couple of hits on Friday.
Just the damage against right-handed opposing pitchers, especially starters, is just so impressive from this Pirates offense.
Yeah, one of the keys to the game, right the ship.
I just absolutely love this right here, because as you were talking about, Neil, coming into that bat, you got to know that JMO's probably looking to throw the off-speed pitch, and he knows that O'Hearn is looking for that too, and he still can get his hands to a fastball up. That's what he does so well.
Jacob Gonzalez flies out, but the buck goes. The bats are back. 7-1. Grand salami. Ashcraft back out there for the 4th. O'Hearn, Sean Ross, Esmerlin Valdez have hit home runs. After 3, I guess we could say days off, games off from the long ball, the Pirates back at it. And a base hit for Nico Horner on the 0-1 pitch. Penn West University educating you. 4th Pirates hit 2 grand slams in 1 month. Mike Easler was the last to do it back in 1983, the Hitman. Phil Garner also did it in 1978, and Bill Robinson in 1977, the other Pirates to hit 2 home runs, 2 grand slams in 1 month. I imagine our buddy R.J. Reynolds is tuned in, the former Pirate. Watches a lot of these ball games because he was the last Pirate to hit a grand slam on his birthday back in 1986. Conforto lines it to right. And nobody out. The 0-2 pitch ripped into right. Warner singles, Conforto doubles. And both were behind the count. Warner was 0-1, Conforto 0-2.
Well, now I think that, and Steven, step in if you might, that's the slider that has peeked its ugly head when things have not gone well for Braxton. That starts middle, and instead of diving down and in below or in off the strike zone, it kind of sits right there in what is normally the honey hole for left-handed hitters.
Yeah, both the singles he gave up in the second inning were on sliders, back-to-back sliders, actually. And then here in the fourth, once again, both of the hits have been on sliders. And for Ashcraft, that's normally been the pitch that he can use to get himself back into the zone. The problem is it's been catching too much zone. So hopefully he can get that a little bit angled down a little bit more.
This will get a run home, looking just for an out, and nicely done. Nick Gonzalez, RBI for Carson Kelly, and well done. That's a quab, according to Neil Walker, quality at bat, because not only does he get the run home, but he moves Conforto to third.
Yeah, that's a tough play by Nick Gonzalez. And you're absolutely right. You'll concede that run all day in a 7-1 game right now, even this early in the game. But just to make sure you get that out at first base.
It's actually kind of really annoying when a guy hits the ball so softly that he ends up executing his game plan.
Went to the corner nonetheless, right?
Exactly.
A righty, typically second and third, even if you're not necessarily giving up the run. If you hit one to third, normal speed, it might at least stop that runner from taking off to home plate.
And a roller into center on another 0-2 pitch. RBI single. 7-3.
Pedro Ramirez again. We've seen Pirates pitchers feed him so many fastballs over the course of this series so far. And this one obviously not hit very hard. You can kind of see the reaction. Yep, not happy about it.
Broken bat roller. And because of that, they don't have a chance to get a double play. Which means Swanson's broken bat ground out moves Ramirez to second and brings up Pete Crow Armstrong. Must be kind of a frustrating inning here for Ashcraft.
Yeah, lots of weak contact. That was a really good sinker right there from Ashcraft. I'd love to see a few more of those from him against the righties.
To the curveball, and once again out in front of a Cub hitter, Ashcraft.
Start small with the slider, kind of a little baby slider cutter that is taken by Crow Armstrong, and then that curveball right there. We'd love to see an elevated fastball or straight to the buried curveball. Even if you bounce this at 56 feet, get it down. And he goes with the fastball here.
See, that pitch perfectly sets up a breaking ball down at the back foot, either a slider or a curveball. You just got to make sure you get it down. As Neil said, Ray Searage, my first pitching coach of the Pirates, used to call this a cover bounce because he wants the catcher to be covering the ball with his glove when he receives it instead of catching it normally.
And it was down the breaking ball slider. Still 1-2 on Pete Crow Armstrong. Ahead of every hitter this inning, Ashcraft. A lot of hard contact. Cubs have picked up a couple. Another 1-2 pitch. And there's that curveball in the dirt.
And to this point, Ashcraft has thrown more sliders and curveballs than fastballs. 21 curveballs, 20 sliders, and 17 four-seam fastballs to go along with 6 sinkers. So that tells you what he's trying to do to these Cub hitters.
Fly ball to right. Nearing the wall. Esmerlin Valdez can't make the play. It's up over his head, and PCA into third with an RBI triple. He is ridiculous. It is 7-4.
Look where this pitch is at. I mean, he is so locked in right now. Everything he's getting to everything. You're not seeing any drift forward whatsoever. That barrel is just flying through the zone. And Greg, I mentioned to you off air, coming into the series had a 6.2 WAR. And coming into today has a 7 WAR.
His WAR is increased in 2 games from 6.2 to 7. Wins above replacement. See, it was a tough play for Valdez. That such a tough wall here at PNC Park. Different surfaces, and you have to make the determination whether you're going to go back or you're going to play it off the wall. Try and make a catch. 0-2 on Suzuki. Again ahead of a hitter. And another weak ground ball and on to first, but the Cubs answer for 3, and it's 7-4 Pirates. 7-4 go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is a Miracle League day here at PNC Park. Saw some of this before the game. The Miracle League athletes from all over, and here is the founder and president of the Southwestern Pennsylvania Miracle League, Mike Sherry, our good buddy. Mike, thanks for being here, and this is such a special day for you.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. As always, it's always good to get here and, you know, highlight Miracle League baseball.
Sorry about that reaction. I've never seen a foul ball that far back.
Yeah, it was coming.
That's why. I mean, this is 26 years, this ballpark. That shows you the strength of this kid, Sean Ross. But, yeah, so.
Yeah, he's a bomber, Ross. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
His first start in the major leagues, and he hits that bomb to left field. No doubter, 438 feet. But you talk about this special day for all the athletes, the parents, friends, buddies, everybody celebrating.
Yeah, it's incredible. I tell people these memories that are being created here, you know, they're a lifetime. There's people here that have never been to this ballpark, that never had the ability to come to a Pirates game. And, you know, suddenly they find themselves down on the grass with a Buccos uniform on, and, you know, they're hanging out at, you know, first base or second base. So, you know, we're giving them an opportunity to do something that they otherwise never would, and it's all because of Pirates, or because of Miracle League Baseball, and, you know, the support we get from Mr. Nutting and obviously Pirates Charity. So it all wraps itself together, and, you know, here we are just celebrating a beautiful day here with the Buccos and all our Miracle League players.
Callahan with a pop-up. Shortstop Swanson out. The second out of the strikeout of Ross. A press conference before the game. And Bob Nutting, Pirates chairman, and introducing a lot of the Miracle League athletes and presenting jerseys, personal jerseys. A big check was also presented, and a $150,000 donation to the Miracle League field at Roxbury Park. And this really the brainchild of Mike Sherry. There he is in the back, and you're going on like 20 years of
we're getting there.
This thing, right?
We are 20 years. And I got to tell you, the Johnstown one is very special. We've been working on that one for a number of years. There's no better Pirate supporting county than Cambria County, and certainly Johnstown. And that community will be well served by this Miracle League baseball field, which hopefully will be opened up, I think, spring of maybe 2027. But they've got a great group there. You know, I always go out and I meet these groups that are trying to put together a Miracle League field, and I look in the eyes of the people that want to do this, and if I don't see that reflection of my wife and I, you know, that vision, that passion, I'm kind of like, well, I'm not sure you're doing it for the right reasons. The folks in Johnstown, you know, Shelley and Vince Lewandowski, they had that vision. You know, they have a son on the spectrum, and they always wanted to build a field. After they saw our field, they're like, how do we get one in Johnstown? I'm like, there's no better place than Roxbury Park in Johnstown. So congratulations to them, and thank you, Bob, for the support of giving them the money they need. Because I'll tell you what, that'll be packed down there. They'll have a lot of kids playing the game of baseball now at Roxbury Park.
What a phenomenal ambassador, Mike Sherry, who it was your vision, Mike, almost 20 years ago. You had
Bob,
the dream.
My daughter's here now, and we were reminiscing a few weeks ago, and it's hard to believe that my daughter was 3 at the time, and she's 22 now.
Jeez.
So a few gray hairs later, I was sitting down there with my wife, going, I don't think we ever thought we'd be here. No one did. There's.
We'll hit toward left.
So you just keep plugging away. We want more fields. We want to be able to do that, and the mission's out there.
Mike, thanks a million.
Yeah, good to see you
Mike
guys.
Sherry, tremendous. He is phenomenal. Great stuff. 7-4. 7-4 Pirates, top of the 5th inning. And a first pitch swing from Michael Bush. Rang him there. Bush retired for the first time. A walk and a single. And it brings up Ian Happ. Again, our thanks to Mike Sherry. Just what a phenomenal human, Mike Sherry. It was his dream, his passion, his vision, just about, as you said, 20 years ago, and created the first Miracle League field.
I think there's 20 plus, something like that in the region now.
They're all over. They're not just Pennsylvania, Western PA, Central PA, West Virginia. Pirates involved in all of them, down in Minnesota County, down in Bradenton.
That's right.
2-0 on Ian Happ. Struck out and hit into a double play. And a fly ball to right. Valdez.
Get away from that wall.
Oh, jeez. Valdez and Conforto are learning a lot about that wall today.
And you just never know with the Clemente wall out there in right field. Plays pretty shallow today. The wind is not blowing out to right field, but the ball is clearly carrying that way.
Which it was not doing, was it, guys? The first 2 games of this series, the balls were dying, especially Friday night. Balls that were hit on the screws, really frustrating some on both teams. Nico Horner. As Ashcraft looks for his first 1-2-3 inning of the day.
I love those 2 sliders right there. In this situation, nobody on, 2 outs against Horner to pepper that low and away corner with the slider in a time that you can't really get hurt. Amazing pitching by Ashcraft. Get himself back where he needs to be.
MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Pirates, the official source for your Pittsburgh Pirates gear. The Interpalooza, you gotta have it's the Interpalooza every game for those guys, the pierogies. Now it's Ryan Rolison taking over for Tyone.
36 game for him, 39 innings, 2.54 ERA, just above a strikeout an inning.
And Lau disappointed to see Tyone out of there. See what he can do against this lefty. Lau 2 for 2, 2 singles to right field off Jamison Tyone, who gives up 7 runs in 4 innings and sees his earned run average go up to .592 for the season. Rolison, 2-ball 1-strike count. In his first appearance of this series, they have 2 lefties in their bullpen. The other, Caleb Thielbar. And toward right field. It doesn't matter. Righty lefty. Lau's locked in. He's 3 for 3.
Well, would this be considered a get-right game, Greg?
I think so.
I think so, too. 3 for 3, 2 singles. Now a double to lead off this 5th inning from Brandon Lau.
Yeah, Lau had come in really struggling the last week plus. 3 for 3 in this one. And now Brian Reynolds, who doubled his last time up. Robinson, going back to the third week of May, has held the opposition scoreless 21 of his previous 24 appearances, a 1.69 ERA. The lowest in the National League among lefty pitchers over that stretch.
This is certainly a spot right here, Greg, with the Cubs scoring 3 in that 4th inning to make this a little less comfortable spot. But you want to make sure you're doing a good job with your situational approach right here. What you can to move this runner over, give yourself opportunities to score runners when you have the chance.
Yeah, 7 runs is nice, but as the Cubs, they're not letting up. You can't let up. Don Kelly's Pirates trying to salvage the final game of the series. The Cubs will head to St. Louis. The Pirates welcome in the Diamondbacks for a big series that starts tomorrow night. Bounce foul. The Diamondbacks now occupy the 3rd wild card spot in the National League. And the Pirates are 2 back of Arizona.
And it looks like Arizona right now is winning 4-2 in the middle of that game in Washington. Get a bat right here by Reynolds. Rolison really trying to work him in, see if he can get him to commit to something to the pull side. For Brian Reynolds right here, you're kind of looking in there, but you're doing your best to keep your bat barrel inside the baseball, just like that.
And that will move the runner.
It's easy to hit that ball, get out in front and look in there and hit that ball straight to the 3rd baseman. But a quab nonetheless. That's exactly what I was hoping for right there. You'd love to see a base hit and a run scored, but situational baseball is good. And this swing right here, the magician getting us on the board in that 2nd inning. Now an opportunity again. Last at bat, 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, walked.
He'll take the walk, but as he just showed, he loves waving that magic wand. When he swings, he does damage. 14 home runs. And the infield in. Broken bat. Look at this guy deliver. Phenomenal. RBI, broken bat. Lyle scores 8-4.
And it's the approach for me, Greg. It's the advanced approach at such a young age. Look at where this pitch is. As I mentioned, the same thing with Reynolds. It's easy to know, that you're going to get pitches on the inner half. And you know that if you swing at those and you're not trying to stay inside them, you're probably going to hit something soft or on the ground to the left side of the infield. Stay inside it. You don't have to barrel everything up all the time to have positive outcomes. And that's the one thing that's impressed me possibly the most about Esmeralda Valdez is just the high-level IQ approach at such a young age.
Pitch was called a ball. Catcher's challenging.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Challenge from Carson Kelly.
Call is confirmed. Chicago has 1 challenge remaining.
It's the voice of the home plate umpire, Latrobe's own Jansen Visconti. Second most, well, let's say 3rd most famous Latrobe native. I have to say Arnie Palmer tops that list. Then Hannah Mears, then Visconti. 3-0. Now 4-pitch walk.
Time for our Miller Lite moment. O'Hearn just walks a little bit earlier in the game, comes up, bases loaded. Hadn't hit a home run since the game. He hit 3 of them. And he goes way deep on a fastball up, gets 4 RBIs, hits Tony Beasley a little hard, maybe getting a little frustration out there. So he comes out and apologizes immediately. A little conversation. Hey, man, don't worry about it. I get it. I get it.
Stephen Brault right down there on the dugout on the field. Got a good look at O'Hearn.
Oh, yeah. And Tony Beasley, man. He is probably my main point of focus down here. He is constantly talking to players, talking to guys about their at-bats, talking to guys about the running around the bases, talking with Valdez about how to field against that right field wall after he made that catch where he was hopping. He was telling him, hey, you got to get all the way back to that wall like you did the first time. And then if you find out that it's going to hit off the top, you just start sprinting forward. That way you can catch the ball and try to get the guy before he can go to third. Just always departing the immense amount of baseball wisdom that he's got. He has been incredible since rejoining the Pirates.
And all these coaches, Stephen, have had to adjust, of course, where they stand. They've got to stay in that box at least till the pitch is delivered.
Yeah, he doesn't stay there long.
That line. Oh, 1 count on Nick Gonzalez. Tommy Hodvey paid Rollison a visit. Up the middle, Nicky G. Esperlin Valdez will be held. Bases loaded.
I was thinking to myself, this is an important at bat right here, or an important situation to find a way to score at least one more run. If you're able to do that and extend this to a 5-run game here going into the 6th inning at minimum, that might help you get away from a couple of the higher leverage arms in this Cubs bullpen. Really good situational hitting and approaches throughout this inning. Let's see if Jacob Gonzalez can add on to the lead.
Swing. Jacob Gonzalez. He's grounded out and flied out.
Take a look at that defensive alignment. Look at the left side there. Leaving completely open. Ramirez has to hold Valdez at third. Oh, you see Gonzalez trying to go there.
Your man Tony Beasley skipping out of the way.
He's quick. He's nimble.
Yes, he is. Jacob Gonzalez hitting .222, a .697 OPS against lefties and a roller. 1 and 2. Pirates get one, lead 8-4. Cranberry and Yinzer-Palooza weekend. We've got Yinzer Neil Walker and honorary Yinzer Stephen Brault, their baseball cards. You've got, do you have Brault's?
I've got.
He's got yours.
I've got one signed here. I'm probably going to steal that.
Nice.
And put that in my own collection.
Nice.
These are great 2013 New York Penn League top prospects. I like that one.
Oh, yeah, that's sweet.
It's good.
Is my name spelled wrong? I know a few of those. My name is spelled with a PH.
Let me see.
Conforto pops this one way up there.
Mine.
No, these ones are all correct.
Mine that I'm really looking at here is Neil Walker as a catcher. And this is fun because it's when you're still in the minor leagues, after your first year in the minor leagues. I didn't know you hit .657 as a senior in high school. That is ridiculous. You look good in that catcher's gear, though.
Yeah, well, it didn't last very long in the catcher's gear, but I had a good time doing it.
.657?
.657. Actually, one of his other cards only says .650, so I guess we got to get down and figure out what the
There was an air hit discrepancy, I guess.
Exactly.
Do we have one of Brault's independent league teams? I thought we had one.
Oh, the good old Frederick Atlantic League question
we do.
marks.
We do have them. Yeah. You look like you're
question marks.
When you played for the Riddlers? What's that?
We were literally the question marks. We did not have a team name for the first half of the season, so we wore those uniforms. I'm not making that up. That's a real thing. We ended up becoming the Spire City Ghost Hounds.
Wow.
But that team only existed for the 1 year that I played there, so maybe it was my fault that they went away. I don't know. Wow. Not a good thing. I'm having fun looking at these Walker cards, though, because, I mean, one of them, Neil, I don't know what you were doing with your hair, man. It's kind of like a bowl cut look you got going on.
Well, I was wearing a catcher's helmet for so many.
Oh, right, of course.
You said take a look. Bowl or bold?
Bowl. He's got it kind of looks like he got some highlights. Did you do highlights?
That's bold.
Somebody else mentioned that to me. No, I didn't do the highlights. I think that was like 6th or 7th grade. I did the highlights, but not in pro ball.
You trying to say I did highlights in pro ball?
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Eventually, you both matured.
Well, he's a risk taker.
Yeah.
Anybody that's got enough confidence to stand up and do the national anthem
true.
Has some confidence. It's as impressive as anything that I can think of.
That was genuinely the nicest way you could say that. I really appreciate that, man. It was fun. Clint Hurdle told me I had to shave my head off when I did it, though.
Oh no.
Still 2-2 on Carson Kelly. And that bullpen for the Pirates stirring now. 86 pitches for Ashcraft. You see Carmen Mlodzinski grab a baseball. Looks like it's going to be his day. Strike 3.
Saw Ashcraft get that slider in there the last inning, trying to get the good feel of it right there. Not necessarily exactly where he wanted it, but down. And so the execution good enough.
Oh my.
Pedro Ramirez steps out as the pitch was being delivered. That strikeout presented by Coppers, protecting what matters, preserving the future. It's interesting to see Mlodzinski start to toss, because you think that if the Pirates could just score, I don't know, a couple more runs, maybe in the bottom of the 6th inning, Ashcraft get out of it right now. Don't let Mlodzinski get hot. Somehow, some way, save him for the Diamondbacks, because it's a precious commodity. You have to pick and choose when you're going to go with Mlodzinski.
Yeah, and I mentioned on the opposite side of that with the Cubs bullpen, if we could have found a way to send this to a 9-4 game or a 10-4 game going into this inning, I would venture to say you probably wouldn't see Carmen getting warmed up. But this is, I hate to say the word, this is a must-win game, but you certainly want to make sure you put this one in the win column.
Oh, nice play. Needed that. Nick Gonzalez. We'll see what the Pirates do with the bullpen. See if they can score some more runs in the bottom. 4 Pirates lead, and Braxton Ashcraft is done getting the big hug from Jared Jones.
Take a look at this play right here by Nick Gonzalez. A little hesitation to try to get himself in the right spot. As a third baseman, of course, in those kind of situations, you got to figure out if you're charging or if you're going back. And right there, I just love, you got to get that short hop, right, Neil? You got to try to be able to trap it that way.
Yeah, and there's a couple balls as infielders, especially on the corners, that are hit similar to that are awkward. That the first thing that actually goes through your head is, oh, and you can fill in the blank. It is similar to crap. And that's one of those balls where if you go backwards, it's going to be a tough play. And if you go forward, it's going to be a tough play. But you always want to try to give yourself the best chance of some version of a short hop.
It's ball and a strike on Sean Ross, who's making his first major league start this afternoon behind the plate. Homered in the 2nd inning, his first big league hit. 438 feet, a 2-run blast. Aaron Savali, the veteran righty, recently returning a deal with the Athletics. He was with the Cubs last year.
77 innings for him. 60 strikeouts. Inning eater for this Cubs team now.
Ross not able to hold his swing. 2-2. Andy Rodriguez likely returning maybe as early as tomorrow before the Diamondbacks game. So we'll see what Pirates decide to do with this 26-year-old Sean Ross, who was a non-drafted free agent signed in November of 2022. Kind of a depth piece in the minor leagues. He grounds it to third. He's retired. But the Pirates, you know, kind of quietly, Neil and Steven, you look at the MLB pipeline, the top 30 prospects, according to MLB pipeline in the Pirates organization, 5 of them are catchers.
That's pretty impressive, especially the offensive numbers.
Including the 20-year-old Axiel Plas, who's playing at Greensboro. Easton Carmichael just got promoted to Altoona, the 22-year-old who was a third-round pick last year out of University of Oklahoma. Edglin Perez was acquired in the Bednar deal from the Yankees last summer. Rafael Flores is on the injured list, and Omar Alfonso, the 22-year-old, a left-handed batter. We saw him in spring training. Tyler Callahan pops this one up and out of play.
You can never have enough arms, and you can never have enough guys up the middle, in my opinion. And catching is such a interesting position, especially at the professional level. And if you're lucky enough to get ones that can hit and receive and call a game and work with pitching staffs, you're lucky. So hopefully all those guys keep developing in the right direction.
0-2. Callahan has flied out twice. I'm hearing some scouting reports on those catchers in the Pirates system that rank in the top 30 according to MLB pipeline. A swing and a miss. Interesting to see Carmichael just get promoted to Double-A. Axiel Plas, big tools. In fact, maybe the loudest tools of all the Pirate prospects. Mangum off to the left. Mangum 0 for 3 against Tyone, who went 4, gave up 7 on 6 hits. Rollison gave up a run in the 5th. And it looks like the Pirates have made the determination that it will be Carmen Mlodzinski. Probably to try to finish this up. And the game very much in the balance. Safe. Infield hit for Jake Mangum. Just a routine ground ball.
I think if you asked Michael Busch, he would have told you he should have taken this himself and at very minimum dove for the bag or something, because Savali does not move very well, as you can see in this replay. And Mangum, as we become accustomed to seeing, he's always hustling down the line.
Lau seems locked in today. 2 singles to right off Tyone, and then the double to right off Ryan Rollison, the lefty. Fly ball to left. We'll head to the 7th inning. The Pirates lead on the UPMC scoreboard. Pirates baseball is presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of sports coverage on SNP. And this Valvoline pitching change is presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust. It is Carmen Mlodzinski. After Ashcraft went to 6, gave up 4 runs on 7 hits.
That 23rd game for Carmen, 86 1/3. Seeing him continue to come out multiple innings out of this bullpen. Maybe we see him for the last 3. We'll see.
Well, they move Jake Mangum to left. And Billy Cook enters the game in center, replacing Callahan in the lineup. Coco bat ninth. And out toward Valdez, and the Magician. He can play D too. He's wincing a bit. Let's hope nothing serious there. The diving play by Esmerlin Valdez.
Yeah, hopefully that's a smiling wince, because it looked a little awkward when he dove for this ball. But a terrific play nonetheless.
Heck of a play.
The Magician doing it all today.
Never know what he's got up his sleeve. He can pull a rabbit out of his hat. He can pull a home run to 405 feet to left. Roller to first. Quick second out for Pete Crow Armstrong. And Majinski help from his right fielder Valdez, and now the routine ground ball to O'Hearn.
Well, that's the start you're looking for throughout this series. Up until now, Swanson and Pete Crow Armstrong have really done work against this Pirates pitching staff. So knock those two out here in the 7th with 2 outs. Let's see if Carmen can get this one right here.
Because he's a multi-inning guy out of the bullpen, they're using him just like they did last year when he came back for the minor leagues. At least 2-3 innings. And he pitches a couple innings, he'll get a couple days off. 3 innings, usually 3 days off. That's what they did last year with him. That's what they're doing this year with him. And because of that, it would seem that they would like him to finish this up. Try and save it. Go the last 3 innings.
And
well, if he only goes 2, sorry to interrupt there, if he only goes 2, then he's available Wednesday against the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I think at this point you would rather have him finish this game, Greg. I think you want to get the most out of him, and I think this is how you get the most mileage. Just giving that bullpen a full break today would be huge.
Strike 3 called. They're going to keep it here as Majinski has a 1-2-3 7th. A great defensive play by Esmerlin Valdez. Pirates leading it over the Chicago Cubs 8-4. We're going to keep it right here for tradition here Sundays. God Bless America and public address announcer Guy Junker. South Hills, experience the advantage. And by McClellan's Contracting and Roofing. If our name goes on it, we stand behind it, so you can stand in it. Steve Blass paid us a visit, and that meant he had a 7th inning toss down, which was a tradition on Sundays here when he was in the broadcast booth. The Pirate Hall of Famer. A lot of smiles down below. Big crowd again, 32,921.
I was thinking of restarting that, Greg, but with a water gun. What do you think?
I think they'd love it below. Yeah.
Don't you think? I think they would really like that. But I'd have a hard time not going after some of the Cubs fans, opposing fans down here. That might be the only problem.
Yeah.
It could be a liability.
People would start to wonder about what Walker's doing. There we are. Stephen Brault, do you ever recall seeing the 7th inning toss down when you were playing?
Oh, every day, yeah. Of course, every Sunday you look up there.
You know what my favorite was, though? Sorry to cut you off, Stephen. Was, and I'm not sure when they stopped doing it. Something tells me Steve had something to do with it stopping. Was the cannon shooting the hot dogs up here?
They shot because we wanted them to shoot them up to the booth, and that gun could get it up to the booth. It was so powerful.
Felt like they turned that thing up.
But they were afraid that the hot dog might hit and hurt someone.
That's understandable. That was the one thing as a player that I would watch for, to see if they actually.
Well, you certainly would get hurt.
No,
with a hot dog.
If I'm not mistaken, I've seen some actually leave the ballpark. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're saying that you're high enough to never get a foul ball up there, but you do get hot dogs out of a bazooka.
Yes.
That's a strong hot dog bazooka.
Yeah.
Steven, do you think maybe during a pregame batting practice we could add that, we could find that bazooka and practice a little bit?
One of your BP shows?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's do it.
I'll just stand in center field with my mouth open like Sandlot.
Strike 3 called.
Speaking of some blasts, brought to you by StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. No doubters for the Pirates today. 3 home runs. Valdez, Sean Ross, and Ryan O'Hearn with the grand slam. You take a look at that ball by Sean Ross. That is impressive. Look where that landed. You just don't see balls go up there very often. Second career at bat, making it look easy. This guy right here, 14 of them already. Unbelievable power out of Valdez.
Homer, walk, RBI single.
Do you know how many home runs he had in the minor leagues this year before coming up, Valdez?
Yes, I do, in fact. Had I want to say a dozen, but I'll make sure I'm right on that. 1 ball, 1 strike. And 2-1. So impressive, everything he does. I was wrong. He had 13.
Holy smokes, 27 combined this season. We're not even in August.
I feel like it bears reminding as well. We talk about how terrible this place is for power right-handed hitters, and Valdez disagrees wholeheartedly.
Yeah. He's asking people what they're talking about.
Right.
Couldn't hold 3-2 as a strike called. Cutter from the veteran righty Savali. Pirates should get 2 more bats back. Andy Rodriguez, maybe Spencer Horwitz as early as tomorrow night. Three and 2. Foul tip. 3rd strikeout for Savali, his 2nd inning. And now here's a message from Levin Furniture and Mattress.
Lazy Boy recliners starting at $395 at Levin.
So Savali coming on for the 2nd inning. Jamison Town gave up 7 runs in 4 innings. Ryan Rollison gave up the RBI hit to Valdez in the 5th. Here's Ryan O'Hearn, who's grand slam in the 3rd inning. The Pirates at the time the 7-1 lead. This check swing roller, and for the 2nd time the Pirates go down 1-2-3 on to the 8th. AHN, official medical provider of your Pittsburgh Pirates. By Giant Eagle, your home team for groceries. And by #1 Cochran Club One Rewards. Earn points, save money, and get discounts on gas. Join for free at clubonerewards.cochran.com. First pitch strike to Michael Busch from Carmen Majinski at a 1-2-3 7th. Busch walked, singled, flied out against Ashcraft, gave up 4 runs in 6 innings. It's a weird line. It seems like he pitched better than that.
Yeah.
ERA up to 4.05 for Ashcraft. But in line to get his 10th win. Offense busted out for him. The 3 homers. Esmeralda Valdez his 14th. Sean Ross at his 1st in the big leagues. His 1st hit in the major leagues in the 2nd inning. And then the grand slam to Ryan O'Hearn. A line drive to right. And Michael Busch. As Valdez gets it in, it's a leadoff double in the 8th.
Busch had a good day today. Goes down and gets this breaking ball just below the zone and rides it out, stay through it. Looking for outs right now with a 4-run lead and 6 outs to get to end this game. So you're less concerned about Bush at second base and more concerned about executing here to Ian Happ.
Nobody out. 8th inning. Mlodzinski had the 1-2-3 7th. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch from Carmen Mlodzinski to Ian Happ. Now 1-2. Happ is 5 for 11 in his career against Mlodzinski. A couple of walks. Left center field. Diving try, but off the glove of Mangum. And he throws to third.
Ooh.
Thankfully, Mlodzinski is there. And Happ doesn't move up 90. Another hit for Happ.
Looked like Mangum had this tracked. Steven, you had the best view down there. What'd you see?
Yeah, it just looked like with the dive, you see he kind of goes up a little bit. And unfortunately, just not quite the right read on the catch. Really good effort, of course. The throw to third base, I think the most important part of that play was great job by Mlodzinski at the end there, putting himself in position to actually back that throw up. A lot of times, guys don't get in the right position.
Line drive, base hit. Nico Horner makes it 8-5. No surprise these Cubs aren't going away.
Hitting seems to be very contagious for this Cubs group. We've seen them be quiet for a couple innings in this entire series in every game, and then all of a sudden bust out 7, 8, 9 batters to the plate. So you'd love to find a way to get a ball on the ground here with Conforto up, possibly get a double play, 2 for 1.
Nico Horner is now 6 for 10 in his career versus Carmen Mlodzinski. Sean Ross, his second challenge. ABS powered by T-Mobile.
Call is confirmed. Pittsburgh is out of challenges.
So Ross missed that one. Curveball to Conforto. Nobody out in this 8th inning. And it's Mason Montgomery up. Mangum coming in. Slides down on his knee and makes the catch.
Unfortunately, this ball had enough hang time because it almost ended up in a little Bermuda triangle down the left field line. Again, another opportunity here with the slow-footed Carson Kelly. Maybe you can start him off away a little bit, see if you can run something down in him, maybe that splitter. The potential ground ball double play to get out of this inning.
Kelly grounded out in the 4th. A little bouncer toward Nick Gonzalez that produced another run. Picked up the RBI. Struck out twice against Ashcraft in the whole 0-2. Mason Montgomery loosening the bullpen. The Pirates are thinking about Pete Crow Armstrong. The rookie switch hitter Ramirez on deck. Swanson in the hole. Then if it continues, Crow Armstrong would bat. And right now it's 2-2. Hits even at 10 apiece.
Certainly looks like Majinski's going for the strikeout. Fastball at the very top of the zone and a sweeper running away.
Gets the strikeout.
Another looking strikeout for Carson Kelly. That's a perfect pitch. Sometimes as a hitter, you just kind of got to tip your cap. Look at that. Right off the corner, ends up catching the outside. Beautiful pitch by Majinski. Great target by Sean Ross as well.
And the first pitch splitter to Pedro Ramirez. Sean Ross making his first major league start behind the dish. And this rookie has a 7-game hitting streak, 2 hits with an RBI in this game. 0-2. So when you see those, Stephen Broll, those splitters, what do you do now? 0-2.
Oh, I would throw another one. Sometimes with hitters like Ramirez, we've talked about he can't really get to the fastball up very well, but he also, because of that lunge, he has to perfectly time up splitters, and it's really hard to do. I would go down in the dirt again or way up above the zone.
The splitter. Wasn't a great one there from Majinski. 1-2. Went back to it. You just keep throwing it?
Yeah, I believe when I was playing, this is that time in the dugout when we'd be saying never 5 times. He never throws a splitter 5 times in a row.
You've never thrown fastballs like 60 straight times in a row.
No, I would never.
He went with the fastball. Now it's 2-2. Two and two, such an important pitch right here. Dansby Swanson on deck. Majinski steps off the rubber. Eight 5 game.
Yeah, very important pitch right here, Greg.
And now, of course, they have the benefit of taking off on the pitch. Now that it's 3-2. The runners. Ground ball to second. Majinski works his way out of it after giving up the run. Head to the bottom of the 8th. It's 8-5. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday afternoon. Then on the road, and then 3 with the Mets. Trent Thornton, Pittsburgh ties, takes Nick Gonzalez takes the strike. Gonzalez extended his hitting streak to 10 straight games with his base hit in the 5th off the lefty Rollison. And would the Pirates love to score a run or 2? Because that you want to play manager, organization, you decide. What do you do with this bullpen now? Right now, leading by 3. Right side off the glove of Horner. Might go as a base hit for Gonzalez. And they do give him one. As these infielders often go into that slide.
Really good piece of hitting. Stays on this slider. We've seen Nick Gonzalez do a really good job of using that right side of the infield and drive the ball in the right center field gap over the course of the last 3 weeks.
Now Jacob Gonzalez. Corner's thinking bunt. Pirates, a bunch of hitters were out bunting practice early yesterday. including both Nick and Jacob Gonzalez, Jared Triolo, Billy Cook, Henry Davis. Sean Ross was out there yesterday. Even Esmerlin Valdez working on bunting. 1 ball, 1 strike. Third baseman not convinced he won't. Ramirez in on the grass. But you're faced with a situation where you've got Mlodzinski gone through 2 innings. You could finish up with him, but you've got Pete Crow Armstrong due up second in the 9th. Interesting to note that Pete Crow Armstrong is 1 for 14 in his career against Mlodzinski, an .071 average. And he's due up second in the 9th. Ground ball first. And that will cost Bush an opportunity to try and double up Gonzalez. Nick Gonzalez reaches second. Join us for AHN Game Day live 30 minutes before every game here on SNP. All the latest news on your Buccos, plus insights and analysis from our team of Sportsnet experts. Nobody gets you ready for the start of the game like we do here on SNP. Stephen Brolt back in the studio tomorrow with Rob King and Matt Capps. Here's Sean Ross. Two-run homer in the second. Okay, the Pirates a 3-1 lead. His first major league hit. Started this year at AA Altoona in 22 games in 211 with 7 homers. In 4 minor league seasons with the Pirates, a 188 average. His first AAA game was May the 13th. Here's the home run. 26-year-old Sean Ross from Santurce, Puerto Rico.
It's one to remember. You're always going to remember your first major league hit, and to have it be this one is even more special.
One and two. Pretty strong numbers from the power side in his minor league career, but also strikes out a bunch. And Thornton gets him. Brings up Billy Cook with 2 outs. Well, Mason Montgomery is back up, and it looks as though the Pirates have decided that they'll, well, maybe let Mlodzinski face the righty hitting Swanson. Though Swanson is 4 for 10 in his career against Mlodzinski. 0 for 2 versus Montgomery.
Stephen, you probably got to look in the dugout there. Does it look like Carmen is preparing himself to go back out?
Oh yeah, he's doing the good old-fashioned walk around. Starting pitchers, relief pitchers, doesn't matter. If you're going out for a second inning, you can't keep still once you get to 2 outs. It's a common thing around the game of baseball. Get yourself moving again. Maybe a little bit of nervous energy, but that good nervous energy.
It's so interesting, and to try to think along with Don Kelly and the Pirates then. So if Mlodzinski goes out there, he's going to face Swanson to lead off, and Swanson's a .400 career hitter against him. And then you've got the lefty hitting Pete Crow Armstrong, and we'll repeat, he's an .071 career hitter against Mlodzinski. And then Seiya Suzuki. It may just all depend on what Swanson does to start the inning. Meanwhile, Billy Cook could really help things if he could come up with a big 2-out hit and give the Pirates a 4-run lead.
Out of way. Out of way.
Just looking at Friday night's game, it was the exact same lineup that Montgomery faced and struck out Swanson, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Seiya Suzuki in order in the 8th inning on Friday. But yeah, he's pacing. As Stephen Brault said, as if he's heading back out there. 2-2 on Billy Cook. Strike three. See how it goes. A 3-run lead. Need 3 outs. PCA due up second. Afternoon, and then after a week, Mets in for that weekend series. Here is Mason Montgomery. Again, he faced Swanson in the 8th inning on Friday in a tie game and struck him out swinging. It's 2-0. Then he struck out Pete Crow Armstrong and Seiya Suzuki looking. And those same 3 hitters due up now in the 9th in a save situation.
He's been terrific since June 29th, as you see right there, Greg.
Jared Triolo takes over at third base, a defensive move. They lift Nick Gonzalez and bring in Jared Triolo, and now it's 3-1. Montgomery's 1 save in 3 opportunities came before the break here at PNC Park, July the 11th against Milwaukee. And a base hit to start the 9th inning. Recap what's happened so far in the game. Dashboard report presented by your Western PA GMC dealers. Braxton Ashcraft gave up 7 in 4 innings. Braxton Ashcraft 4 runs in 6 innings. Jamison Tyone 4 innings 7 runs. Ashcraft 4 runs in 6 innings. Ryan O'Hearn a grand slam on his birthday. And here is Pete Crow Armstrong. He is now 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts versus Montgomery. It's ball 1. And by the way, it's pretty obvious it's Montgomery and not Soto. Gregory Soto pitched the 9th inning on Friday of a tie game. And got Michael Busch, Alex Bregman, Ian Happ in order. Ground out and a couple of pop-ups, but here it's Montgomery to try and save it. There's Gregory Soto in the bullpen. 1-2 on Pete Crow Armstrong. Big one there. An understatement. Strikes him out again, just as he did on Friday.
Love to see the way Montgomery attacks PCA. Starts him off with a few sliders and then continues to use the fastball. This one right here perfectly placed right above the top of the zone. And even the fast hands of Pete Crow Armstrong can't catch up to that one.
Not happy. Pete Crow Armstrong takes it out on the batting helmet. Well, if Montgomery gets the next 2 outs, I don't know that Don Kelly would come out and say it, but it's very obvious that he will. There's a drive to deep left. It's a 1-run game. Seiya Suzuki, it's his 18th. Not done yet. 8-7. $18 for Suzuki.
And judging by that fastball he took in a 1-0 count, it looked to me like Suzuki was waiting for this slider at some point in this at bat. He was kind of sitting on it. And not only does he get one in an elevated spot, he lifts it for a 2-run home run. And now we got a ball game.
Curveball right down the middle. Michael Busch. Seiya Suzuki, a 2-run homer. Pirates lead down to 1. 100 from Montgomery. He has never faced Michael Busch. Lefties bat 113 against Mason Montgomery this season. Busch hitting .257 against them.
And of note, no ABS challenges left for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and 1 left for the Cubs.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Just foul. Ryan O'Hearn celebrating his 33rd birthday today. Celebrating his 3rd birthday today here at the ballpark. Anthony John Fetchko. And a crowd of 32,921 hoping to see a W, but a lot of work to be done. 2-2. I should say the majority of the crowd of 32,921. Still a lot of Cub fans on hand. A 3-game total of 105,619. 2-2.
Michael Busch has had really good at-bats in this game. Walked in the first, singled in the third, flew out in the 6th and doubled last inning and ended up scoring.
And I don't think we need to tell you who's on deck, by the way. Because we're going to see him right now. 2 outs and coming to the plate with 2 outs and no one on, and a 1-run game is, of all players, Ian Happ. Extended his on-base streak here at PNC Park with his 8th inning base hit off the glove of Jake Mangum. "44 consecutive games he's reached safely here in this ballpark."
And he's only 18 for 108 against left-handed pitchers this season for a 167 average. So that's makes you feel a little bit better coming into this situation. Much better from the left side than the right side.
1 ball, 1 strike. Just 1 at bat against Montgomery in the past. 0 for 1. And that was a strikeout. Two and 1. Two and 2 now. Mason Montgomery, as a rookie last year with the Tampa Bay Rays, had 1 save in 57 appearances. Looking for his 2nd Pirates save. 2 and 2. Raise the Jolly Roger.
Oh, a good salvage game here on Sunday on the North Shore for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Tough first 2 games of this series for them. Got themselves a righty and Jamison Tyone on the mound, and quickly jumped out to a 7-1 lead, and able to close it up even after a bit of a scare there in the late innings. 1 of 3 in this series. Now the Arizona Diamondbacks are going to come in for 3 starting tomorrow.
And there is Sean Ross. What a feeling that must be. to be out there, the high fives after a W, catching these three pitchers, Ashcraft, Majinski, and Montgomery.